my 5th year in Canada. I commemorate the 5-year-long journey of moving from my homeland, the Philippines, to Canada. And as a Filipino, I will celebrate it, of course, with German beer and Mexican tequila. Immigrating to a new country isn't easy. New places, new faces, a new pace of life. And all of this lead to what you call culture shock. But from my experience, I was actually culture electrocuted. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I would like to share my 5-year journey in Canada. I would like to share my experience, mostly the hardware, condensed into 3 simple lessons to live successfully in the land of milk and hockey. September 2011. I was in Vancouver Airport when I first set foot in Canadian soil, or Canadian cement, and headed directly to the immigration office. I knew that I will be interviewed there, and so I prepared because I need to answer the questions quickly or else I will miss my flight to Winnipeg. At the immigration office, the immigration officer asked me, "So, what brought you here to Canada?" Looking directly at his eyes, I said, "Air Canada." He then explained, "Are you just pulling my leg?" Wondering what he said, I said, "No, I'm not pulling your leg. My hands are right up here." He then asked another immigration officer and said, "Hey, this boy's all Greek to me. Could you talk to him?" Without missing a beat, I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, sir, but I'm actually Filipino." I did miss my flight after that. A year later, I went to a Toastmasters meeting and I learned about a thing called idioms. From that airport experience, I learned lesson number 1. To live successfully in Canada, join Toastmasters. As I journey myself in Winnipeg, I have learned that there's a lot of shopping stores around the city. And so, I went for my first shopping spree in Dollarama. I was surprised to see some fabulous items selling for $1.50, but they said it was a buck before. And then, near the exit, I realized something that caught my eye. Somewhere in the rack, a newspaper called the Winnipeg Free Press. I grabbed a copy and headed home. Winnipeg's the best. You get to read the local daily newspaper for free. The next day, I went again and grabbed another copy of the Free Press. The third day, as I'm walking towards the exit with my copy, the cashier hollered at me, "Hey, excuse me there. You just need to pay for that now, eh?" From there on, I just read the Metro. In Winnipeg, there's a lot of things that you could see around here. Some cool and interesting facts. For example, did you know that Winnipeg mints coins for over 60 countries? Or, did you know that the world's scratch cards are made mostly in Winnipeg? Or did you know that we have more potholes per capita than anywhere else in the world? But the coolest thing I realized and I learned was actually that Winnipeg is colder than the North Pole. It was December 2013. let's call it a New Year's Eve to remember. I was walking towards my bus stop, going to work, and then suddenly, a gust of icy wind blew on my face, so cold that as I breathed warm air out of my mouth, it hit my eyes and froze my eyelids. As I tried to defrost my eyes from that freezing bite, my boss came passed by at me, and I missed my bus. I shivered for another hour, but I get my eyes open. From there on, I learned lesson number 3. Do not underestimate Winnipeg winter. Or maybe carry a de-icer with you. Living successfully in Canada isn't hard as you think. Through these simple lessons I shared to you, you will never miss a flight again, or get arrested for shoplifting, or maybe become a living snowman at the bus stop. Tonight, I celebrate my 5th year in Canada. And before I go and party and get drunk tonight, I would like to share these simple words to sum up my experience as a newcomer in Canada. And I'll adapt it from the words of Julius Caesar. I came